My micromanaging boss treated us like kindergartners, so I compiled every rule he'd ever violated and distributed copies at the staff meeting he made us attend. Marcus controlled our department like it was boot camp for preschoolers. He had to approve every single email before it went out. Every restroom visit needed to be logged with exact timestamps. He'd actually put a bell on his desk that he'd ring whenever someone's posture wasn't up to his standards. 2 rings meant you needed to adjust your sitting position. 4 rings meant you were slouching like you didn't care about your career. His signature power play was the required morning meetings at 7:45 a.m. on the dot, where he'd test us on company policies like we were studying for finals. Miss one question and you'd have to stand facing the corner of the meeting room while he gave the rest of the team a speech about responsibility and workplace excellence. I'm dead serious. Full-grown professionals standing in corners. In 2024, Marcus kept a 3-ring binder on his desk titled Growth Opportunities, which was actually just a record of everyone's screw-ups dating back 3 years. Didn't CC him on an email back in 21, it was in the binder. Took a lunch break that went 2 minutes over, documented with the precise timestamp. He created a traffic light system for our desks. Green meant you could be interrupted. Yellow meant working but available for urgent stuff. Red meant absolutely do not disturb. Except Marcus would ignore red lights constantly, then document you for having your light set to red too often because it proved you weren't collaborative enough. The final straw happened on a Tuesday when my coworker Sarah got a phone call that her father was in the hospital with chest pains. She grabbed her purse and rushed toward the exit. Marcus literally stepped in front of her and forced her to complete Form 26B for unplanned absence request before she could go. The form needed a supervisor's signature, an approximate return time, and a written justification for why the absence couldn't be arranged ahead of time. Sarah was trembling and sobbing while completing it. Her father might have been dying, and Marcus was giving her a lecture about following proper channels. She turned in the form at 10:47 a.m. Marcus's rules stated emergency forms had to be submitted within 30 minutes of the incident. Her father's call came in at 10:19. Marcus deducted 4 hours from her paycheck because the form was turned in 14 minutes past the deadline. That's when I launched my own tracking project. For 3 months I maintained a detailed spreadsheet. I recorded every single rule Marcus enforced on the team, then monitored whether he adhered to it himself. Every long lunch break, every personal phone conversation, every early exit, every policy he quoted but somehow didn't apply to himself. Turns out Marcus was the poster child for do as I say, not as I do. He took 90-minute lunches 3 times weekly while monitoring our breaks with an actual stopwatch. He'd bail at 3:30 p.m. on Fridays, while the rest of us were stuck until 5:30. He'd spend forever on personal calls with his contractor discussing his kitchen remodel while we needed his signature to send basic emails. The restroom break policy was especially ridiculous. We had to log every bathroom trip in a shared Excel file, including how long we were gone. Marcus never logged a single trip in 3 months. I started clocking him. His average bathroom break lasted 17 minutes. He documented Jordan for taking 8 minutes because anything beyond 5 minutes indicated time theft. My spreadsheet expanded to 47 pages. Dates, times, exact policy infractions, side-by-side comparison demonstrating precisely how many hours Marcus wasted while monitoring our minutes. I included word-for-word quotes from the employee handbook, with highlighted portions showing the policies he violated every single day. Friday morning, Marcus distributed one of his required meeting requests. Emergency policy review session, attendance mandatory, professional development opportunity. He'd invited the regional manager to watch his leadership methods in practice. Perfect. I printed 47 copies of my spreadsheet. One for every single person in that meeting room, including our regional manager, Patricia, who Marcus had specifically invited to observe his exceptional management approach. Marcus kicked off the meeting the way he always did, standing at the head of the room with his laser pointer and his binder of failures, lecturing us about the necessity of adhering to procedure and upholding professional excellence. That's when I got up. I walked around the entire room, setting my spreadsheet face down in front of everyone. Marcus didn't even register what was happening until I reached him. "What is this?" he barked. "Professional development," I replied. The room fell dead silent as people flipped through the pages. Patricia's face changed fast. Bewilderment, disbelief, rage. She kept reading, jaw tight. Marcus lunged for her copy. She jerked it back and said, "My office, now." He's been working remotely ever since, transferred to Alaska.